You have got a sample, it's complex, your assay looks clean on paper, but your data doesn't add up. And your triple quad is giving you numbers you can't even fully trust. Sound familiar? That's the question: which mass spec platform do I actually need? Is one of the most consequential decisions you'll ever make in your analytical program. Get it wrong and you'd either over investing in technology you don't need or upper equipped with the science you are trying to do it. Hi, I'm Raghuveer Singh Parmar, Director Scientific Affairs at Resolve Mass Laboratories, and today we are going to cut through the noise on one of the bioanalytical science's oldest debates, HRMS versus triple quadrupole, and more scientifically, when high resolution actually becomes necessary for quantification. So, introduction and industry shift. For years, the field operated on a simple rule: triple quad for quant, HRMS for qualitative estimation. And honestly, that rule served us well for a while, but the industry has shifted. The molecules we are working with are more complex. The matrices like plasma, urine, tissue homogenates are messier, and regulatory expectations have never been higher. Meanwhile, Orbitrap and TOF technologies have evolved dramatically. Faster scan speeds, better mass accuracy, improved detector stability. HRMS is no longer a niche research tool, it's entering a regulated bioanalytical space. But here is the honest truth: high resolution is powerful, but it's not always necessary. Knowing when to use it, that's where the real expertise lives. Four differences between HRMS and triple quad. So let's get into the fundamentals, because these fundamentals are genuinely different animals. Your triple quadrupole operates in MRM mode, multiple reaction monitoring. You define your transitions, you target your analytes, and you get exceptional sensitivity and reproducibility. For routine, regulated quantification, think PK studies, DMPK, ANDA bioequivalence. Triple quad is fast, reliable, and the regulatory agencies know it well. HRMS, on the other hand, gives you full scan data with exact mass. You're not just asking, is this compound present? You're asking, what exactly is in this sample and what mass? The sensitivity is fundamentally different. So, is the data depth? Both platforms have a home in well-structured analytical lab. The question is always what problem you are actually solving. When HRMS becomes necessary, let me describe a scenario. You are running a plasma assay for a new chemical entity. Your triple quad method looks validated, but you are seeing an unexpected variability in your lower QC samples, and you suspect matrix interferences, but you can't isolate the source. This is exactly where HRMS earns its place. When you are dealing with complex biological matrices like plasma, serum, urine, and tissue, co-eluting compounds can create isobaric interferences that MRM simply can't resolve. HRMS separates those compounds using the exact mass, often to the fourth decimal place. You gain confidence in your data that you genuinely cannot achieve in any other way. At Resolve Mass, we have encountered these repeatedly with novel NCEs, where the metabolite burden is high and the matrix is difficult. HRMS doesn't just solve the problem, it explains what was happening in the first place. Isobaric compounds and structural ambiguity. And this brings up one of the thickest challenges in bioanalysis: isobaric compounds. Think about steroid analysis, lipidomics, metabolomics. These are the areas where structurally similar compounds share nearly identical nominal masses. Your triple quad transitions overlap. Your fragments can't distinguish between them, and suddenly your quantification is compromised, not because your method is wrong, but because the instrument cannot make this distinction. HRMS resolves compounds offering by multi-Daltons, and that's not a marginal improvement, it's a completely different level of chemical specificity. For programs where structural ambiguity is a real concern, HRMS isn't a luxury, it's the right tool for the job. Unknown metabolites and drug discovery. Here is another scenario that comes up frequently in the early phase drug development. You are doing a metabolism study and you need to identify and quantify metabolites you haven't fully characterized yet. With triple quad, you need predefined transitions. If you don't know what you are looking for, you can't set them up. HRMS flips that entirely. You can detect and identify, quantify in a single run, and the real power, retrospective analysis. If a metabolite of interest emerges 6 months later, you can go back to your stored data and mine it without rerunning a single sample. For biomarker discovery and drug metabolism programs, that capability is transformative. Accuracy, precision, and regulatory perspective. Now let's talk about what regulators actually think. Modern HRMS platforms routinely achieve 5-6 orders of magnitudes of linear dynamic range, which is genuinely comparable to triple quad for many applications, and critically, FDA and EMA are increasingly accepting HRMS data in regulatory submissions when properly validated. That said, triple quad still leads in raw sensitivity for ultra-trace quantification, and it carries decades of regulatory precedent. For your IND enabling PK studies or ANDA bioequivalence work, triple quad remains the gold standard. But as your program evolves and your analytical challenges get harder, HRMS becomes an increasingly important part of your validation toolkit, particularly when ion suppression is a persistent concern and there are isobaric molecular masses. Cost, throughput, and data management. Let's be practical for the moment, because budget and throughput matter just as much as the science. Triple quad is the lower acquisition cost, simpler to maintain, and built for high throughput workflows. If you are running hundreds of routine samples per week, it's an efficient choice. HRMS comes with a higher upfront investment, larger and more complex data sets, and a steeper learning curve for data processing. But think of this way, triple quad gives you the efficiency, HRMS gives you the information depth. For small and mid-sized pharma and biotech companies, where every data point in an IND package matters, understanding which depth you need and when is genuinely strategic. Let's talk about hybrid strategy based off both. Here is where the most sophisticated labs are landing. A hybrid strategy. Use a triple quad for your routine regulatory quantification, your validated PK assays, your standard bioequivalence work. Deploy HRMS for structural confirmation, metabolite profiling, and complex matrix investigations. Run them in parallel when the science demands it. Combining both doesn't just improve your data quality, it improves your confidence in that data, and in a regulatory submission, that confidence is everything. The future of this field isn't HRMS replacing triple quad, it's both platforms working together, each doing what it does best. So let's bring this home. If you're running a routine regulatory quantification, for example PK studies, ANDA bioequivalence, triple quad is your platform, proven efficient and well accepted. If you're dealing with complex matrices, isobaric interferences, unknown metabolites and you need a retrospective analysis capability, HRMS becomes essential, not optional. Essential. The decision isn't always about prestige or technology for its own sake. It's about matching the right tool to the right scientific problem and having the analytical depth to support your regulatory strategy. At Resolve Mass Laboratory, this is the kind of decision we help our clients navigate every day, from early discovery through IND and ANDA submissions. Laboratory, this is the kind of decision we help our clients navigate every day, from early discovery through IND and ANDA submissions. If your program is at a crossroads on a platform selection, method development, or bioanalytical strategy, we'd love to have that conversation. Drop a comment, reach out directly, or visit us at resolvemass.ca, because the right analytical decision made early can save you months, and the wrong one, well, that's story for another video. Thanks.